Morning. I got some requests on my YouTube page to post up a complete workout. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to post up what I've decided to do today. Today's my priority 2 training day. If you want to follow along, I'll post up a link to my training log in the description box on the YouTube video. So you can click on that and you can follow along with what actually happened, like what I actually decided to do. The plan going into today is, as I said, this is my priority 2 training session. So this is really my second session this week. It just has happened to work out that way. Priority 1 and 2 are really heavy sessions. Same today. We're going to start out with deadlift. I'm going to work up doing triples. We're going to go up to a 9 RPE. If you're not familiar with the RPE system, if you click on the link in the description box, troll around that website for a while. There's a lot of useful articles and stuff on there, and there's even an article that explains the whole RPE system. So what I've done already, I've warmed up my deadlift. I've got 685 on the bar here, and this is going to be my first work set. As I mentioned, I'm going to work up doing triples in the deadlift up to a 9 RPE. And then I'm going to assess 4 to 6% fatigue. We're going to be aiming at 5, but if we get a little more, a little less, we'll take it. And then from there, I'm going to go on to, I believe it's a 1.5 board that I've got scheduled, and then I'll finish up with pin squats. So as you can see, real heavy session. 3 heavy movements in one session, that's a lot, and there's really no place for complacency. I gotta have my attention fixed this whole session and make sure that I'm doing everything exactly how it needs to be done, so I don't get hurt, don't get anything out of the groove. Try to have a good session, try to get some good PRs. Starting out with the deadlift, as I said, it just warmed up. I started with 245. Went 425, 535, 605, and now this is my first work set at 685. I cut that stuff out because it's probably boring to watch anyway. But at any rate, there it is. Time to get started. So that was a solid work set. I rated that about a 7 RPE. So moved the weight up. I'm sticking with the plan. I went up to 725. This will be my second set triple. And based on how this set goes, that's how I'll decide how heavy to go in set 3. Alright, so I'm honestly a little surprised that that set went so well. That went better than I expected. I've been a little sleep deprived lately, so it's good that the weights are still moving well, and thought about it, and I decided I'm going to go for the PR today. Loaded at 775 on the bar. We're going to pull this for a triple, and we'll see how this goes. If I pull this for a triple, I have to make sure it's fast enough, but provided it's fast enough, this will be a PR and a pretty nice string of deadlift PRs that I've had lately. So here we go, 775 for triple. Yeah, so that was just a tiny bit slower than I would have liked, but overall not too bad. still worthy of a PR. So that was 775 for a triple. So now, normally my rule of thumb, since I'm aiming for 4 to 6% fatigue, with 5 being in the middle, 5 is what I'm really aiming at. Normally I drop the weight about 5%, which would take me down to about 725, maybe a little more than that. But since that set was a little bit heavier than I would have liked, and also since my track is showing stress that's a little bit elevated, I went ahead and dropped a little bit more, went down to 695. So I'll pull another triple there. I've got a callus that's starting to tear a little bit. Looks like it might be okay. Looks like it might have another layer under there, so might be a little raw, but nothing to write home about. Yeah, just let that be a lesson to you guys, though. Take care of your calluses if you're pulling, especially if you're deadlifting. Calluses are important. Having healthy hands is important to be able to train. So what I do, file off the dead skin. Make sure you file off the dead skin and put lotion on your hands at night. It'll help to keep the skin healthy and make sure that it doesn't tear off on you. See guys, sometimes the callus tears off and their hand is bleeding and they can't pull for 2 weeks. Well, that's 2 weeks of lost training. So in order to avoid that, just a little bit of hygiene, it'll go a long way. Make sure that you can train enough to hit some big lifts. Alright, so that was a pretty tough set. Not quite as slow as the 775, but you can definitely see that I'm getting tired in the way that the bar moves. So that actually assessed that right at 5% fatigue. So that means we can stop deadlifting there. No more volume for today. Time to move on to the bench. My callus hung in there, so I'm good to go on that end. I was glad of that. So now I'll make sure to whip that into shape before the next deadlift session. I was wrong, I'm not doing the 1.5 board today. I'm doing some benching with chains. So I'm going to go ahead and get warmed up, and I'll cut the camera back on at the start of the work sets. Alright, I'm all warmed up now and ready to start benching. As you can see, I'm going to be benching with chains today. I got 90 pounds of chain on the bar. Not quite all of it is coming off the floor for each rep, but it kind of doesn't matter because this lift is only valuable compared to itself anyway. So that's all I'm comparing it to, is when I've done this exact lift in the past. First work set is 385 plus the chain weight. Yeah, I'll be working up doing triples. I'll work up to a 9 RPE. Then the same thing as with the deadlift, we'll be doing a 5% fatigue drop. So here we go. First set is 385 for triple. I rated that about a 7, and that's pretty good for a first set. So I moved the weight up. Now we're looking at about 415. Same sort of thing. We're going to do a triple here. And this, just like in the deadlift, second set of deadlift, this will really tell us where we're going to go for that third set, and find out whether we got a PR in it today or not. And if it's there, we'll load it up. If it's not, then we'll just take what we can get and build on it for next time. So here we go. This will be 415 for triple. one wasn't quite as awesome as I would have hoped, but it wasn't too bad either. So I just went up a little bit. I went up to 425, and as long as I make this, and it's 9.5 RPE, then that'll result in a PR. What I really want though, I want to, really drive this off the bottom, carry it through to the top. If I can get away and it's a 9 RPE, that would be a really nice PR on this movement. And this is a movement that I know from experience, and not just experience, but from analysis, really targets the weak area of my bench. So if this is improving, then there's a good chance that my bench is improving. So big PR attempt here, and it'll be a real positive indication once I get it. And that's what cost me, but it was close. Yeah, it was between 9.5 and 10 on the RPE is where I would put it. Anyhow, when he says the fatigue, it's pretty much the same as what I did for the deadlift. Since I went a little too heavy. Dropped a little bit extra, went down to 405, just a little bit extra this time. So we'll do another triple here and see where we're at then. If we've still got a little gas in the tank, we'll do some more triples, but if not, then we'll cut it and move on. So since that one was fast enough, we'll do another set there. Same weight, 405 for triple. And as you get tired, the bar will slow down more, and depending on how much it slows down, that's what the RPE is for, is to rate how hard it is. And based on how hard it is, that's how you know when to stop. So I didn't have a set idea of how many sets I was going to do when I came into this session, but we're going to go until we reach the appropriate level of fatigue. And at that point, we'll cut it and move on to the next thing. So here we go. 405 for another triple. A little more fatigue going into that set, or coming out of that set rather. It was just enough to push me over the edge. I ended up with a little more than 5% fatigue. So there we go. I met the fatigue requirements, so we cut there. Move on to the next thing. Next thing is going to be pin squats for doubles. So put on my working shoes because this is going to be tough. I mean, I've already deadlifted and benched. Been down here for quite a while, so time to get warmed up, get ready to squat, come away, at least try to come away with another PR, at least make it 2 out of 3 for today. That'd be a good day. So here we go. All right, I'm all warmed up for pin squats. I've got 565 on the bar for my first set. It's not a whole lot, to be honest, because I'm just doing doubles. I'm really bad at this exercise compared to my normal squat. The reason is, and that's the reason I'm doing it really, is because this exercise really targets my weakest area in the squat. I did a film analysis, figured out where my weak area is. This exercise targets it, and lo and behold, I'm not very good at it either. So I've been working at this. The trouble with pin squats, just like rack pulls or pin presses in the bench, we have a tendency to compromise our technique. So I need to be really careful that I'm focusing on good technique, good execution, so that I get carryover into my actual squat. because the point is not to lift a whole lot of weight in the pin squat. The point is to use the pin squat to build my contest squat, and I can't do that if I'm compromising my technique a whole lot. So that's it for the pin squat. I need to get this first set in here, this first set of 2. There was something else that I wanted to say, but now I forgot what it was. So I'll just do this set. So that one was maybe not the best set of squats I've ever done. When I took it out of the rack, it felt heavy. I don't think I was giving it all the respect that that weight deserves. Need to take this a little more seriously, obviously, because I went up 40 pounds. I should have it in me, and we're going to do a double here, and hopefully have a much better performance in the last set and go up again for a third set. So, but that's how we do with RTS. You know, we take each thing one set at a time. So the next set, 605 for a double. We're going to get behind it and really push on this one. So that set was much better than the first one. It's like I said, I needed to crush that one in order to have a good one to go to on my third. And the bar speed on that was very similar to that of the first set, but it was 40 pounds heavier, and that's a really good indication. So anyway, loaded it up. The original plan was to go to 635 if everything had gone well, based on just me knowing how I process sets and stuff, something like this. I should have a little bit more in the tank, so we went 645 on this one. So we're going to go 645 for a double. This should be a PR unless I screw up pretty royally. I shot a video on that last one from the side, and technique is looking good. It's pretty similar to how I'm squatting in a competition. You'll notice I'm kicking my hips back again, and that seems to really help in terms of getting my technique right, getting my mechanics right, and getting me down to the hole as quickly as possible, which is important so there's not a lot of wasted range of motion. So training this to help build that strong drive out of the bottom, and so here we go, 645 for double. So that was a pretty good set. You could see I was starting to struggle. I don't know if you could see it on the film, but coming off the pins, I could definitely feel a little wobble, which makes sense because that's my weakest position, and I'm trying to keep in that position, keep true to that position in the bottom. I mean, I could cheat it by sliding a little bit more forward or something like that, but that's not going to pay any dividends for me. So I'm trying to squat normal technique, just stop in the bottom, and you could, or at least I could feel the wobble coming off the pins. Good acceleration after that, but that wobble is an indication to me that I'm pretty close to the limit. I could have got one more, so I rated that a 9. And that's a solid gain. It's about 20 pounds better than the last time I did this. So it may not result in 20 pounds direct on my squat, but that's definitely a good sign. It's saying that I'm getting better in that position where I'm weakest. So There we go. I'm gonna do at least one more set. Same type of thing, dropped back down. So I went down to 605, so we'll do 605 for another double. So that's it. That was actually kind of a tough set. You have to excuse me, I'm a little out of breath even though it's just a double. That's a lot of breath hold under heavy tension. So that was still pretty heavy. Heavy enough to call it 9 or 8.5 rather. At any rate, that gives me about 5% fatigue on the pin squat, so we cut it there. That's the last exercise for this workout, so I'm gonna put my toys away and get something to eat. Thanks for watching. That was a priority two workout. Each week they're a little bit different, though I don't know, for a block at a time they'll be pretty similar. You can subscribe to the training blog, subscribe to the YouTube page, whatever, and I'll see what I can do. If you guys like these, then I'll keep them coming. All right, thanks for watching.